Excellent. All right, we're welcoming everyone in here. I'll give it just a second. Thank you all so much for joining us. I'm Alicia Cordes, the Deed Communications Director. Happy to have you with us today. We'll do some updates on the paid leave program. Commissioner Verlick will start us off. We have our Deputy Commissioner Evan Rowe, as well as Greg Norfleet, our Program Director for paid leave today. Happy to answer your questions. So we'll do a little bit of context, provide some stats, and just ask that you keep everything muted in the background, and I'll be sure to spotlight the person. So for television purposes, hopefully that'll help. But let me know if you have any tech issues. Otherwise, we'll get started. Commissioner Verlick, over to you.
Sounds good. Thanks, Alicia. Good afternoon, everybody. Happy New Year. Happy Friday. Thank you all for joining us for another paid leave update. We are happy to report Minnesota's paid leave program is now fully operational, and we are actively receiving applications through our online portal for all types of eligible leave. I'll note one big development since our last update. January 1st was the first day that eligible and approved Minnesotans could actually begin taking approved leave time. I don't have exact numbers in front of me, but there are people beginning their leaves yesterday and today, with most of them being new parents spending time with their babies. And with that, I'll turn it over to my colleague, Deputy Commissioner Rowe, who has new stats for you, and then we can move on to questions. Evan, over to you.
Oh, sorry, I'm talking on mute. There we go. Thanks, Commissioner. Can everybody see the slide? Very good. See a thumbs up. Okay, so our operational update for the 2nd of January 2026. We wanted to share both application data from 12/31 as well as the 1st of the year. 2 big days, obviously, not surprisingly, for the paid leave program. We got 1,249 applications on New Year's Eve and 1,931 applications on New Year's Day. That puts our total submitted to date at about 11,883, just shy of 12,000. And of those, we've made determinations on 6,393 applications. Our teams are working hard to continue to work through these. As far as the types of applications we received over the last 2 days, just neck and neck on bonding leave and medical leave. So we got 1,448 bonding leave claims, 1,449 medical leave claims. 274 caring leave claims, 6 safety, and 3 military family leaves. And I think this is notable that we think that we got a large chunk of the bonding leave claims in early during the beta and soft launches in November and December. And now we're already starting to see sort of a more even distribution of claims coming in. As far as the contact center goes, on New Year's Eve, we had 1,749 contacts. That's inclusive of both phones and emails. Average time to answer phones on 12/31 was still under 60 seconds. So just big picture, applications are coming in as expected. The online portal's running smoothly. Performance is strong. There's no latency or anything like that. People have been able to submit applications. And I think even yesterday, when state offices were closed on New Year's Day, we had nearly 2,000 Minnesotans submitting applications successfully. So we're really pleased to see that. Not surprisingly, it's today is the first day of the new year, and it's a busy day on the phones. So far it's busy, but we are answering and taking calls just fine. We expect volumes will stabilize a little bit over the next week. We're not surprised that these first few days are a little bit busier, and we will see how the trends settle out. But in any event, we're eager to take Minnesotans' questions and help them apply for paid leave and answer the questions along the way. So that is the general operational overview I had. I'm happy to turn it back over to Alicia to facilitate questions.
Thanks so much, Evan. Could you pull down the slide and then I'll do
Yes.
some spotlighting? Perfect. Thank you. Well, we take questions. And Tom, over to you for the first question here.
Actually, if I could interrupt.
Thank you, Commissioner and Evan. I think you've got 12,000.
Hey, Tom.
Can you hear me okay?
I do, Tom, but sorry to interrupt you. Tori had one in the chat first. I think we should probably go to that one first.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay.
Evan, can you see the chat and take that one?
Yep, sure. I've got this
yes.
one. Okay. So from Tori, does determined to date equal applications that were either approved or denied? Do we know what percentage have been approved so far?
Yes, that's a great question. And yes, that is correct. That means approved, denied, or withdrawn by the applicant. In some cases, the applicant may have applied and wanted to change some of the nature of their application. It's about 2/3 have been approved to date. So a little over 4,000, just a little over 4,000 applications have been approved, and then denied at just over 1,100. Cancellations around 1,000. So that's the breakdown of that.
Great, thank you. And so then I interrupted Tom, so I would suggest going to Tom, and then Alicia, I'll let you take it.
Perfect. We got this.
Okay.
Tom, over to you, please.
Okay, thank you, and that's no problem. I just have two quick questions. The first one is 12,000 applications already, and here it is January 2nd. I think I had read that you were anticipating in the first month somewhere between 12 and 17,000 applications in the first month. You're already there on day 2. And so my first question is, does this indicate there might be a lot more demand for this program than projected? That's one question. And then I'll ask them both now. So if you need a reminder, I'll come back. I read some criticism of the program, somebody claiming that you could game this system and somehow figure out a way to take off an entire year with paid leave. I don't believe that is accurate. I believe that 20 weeks is the maximum. So those are the two questions I had, and you can answer those in whichever order you would like.
Well, that's maybe I can start. Just maybe I'll start with the second one first. The Minnesota paid leave law is very clear. There's 12, there's up to 12 weeks for any one single leave issue, and a combined maximum under the program of up to 20 weeks under the Minnesota paid leave law. Employers might have their own internal policies, which we don't have visibility into, but again, overall, as far as the paid leave program is concerned, the absolute maximum somebody can receive under the law is 20 weeks of paid leave. And again, that would require having certified leaves across 2 different types of leave, both medical and family.
And then the other one is on the projections.
Yep.
Any concern that there's going to be more demand for this program than is currently accounted for or projected for?
I would say that what we're seeing is not surprising or out of line with the overall projections. So the projections that are projections from the independent actuary projected around 130,000 total claims over the course of calendar year 2026, right? Now, I think there's a couple different things happening. One, because we opened early, we've been able to review and approve claims faster. That for claims that might have kind of extended out into 2026, we've actually been able to bring down some of that backlog even earlier, right? I think what you tend to see, what other states with paid leave programs have seen is an initial surge in applications, and then somewhat of a stabilization towards a mean. So I think what we've really seen as part of this early launch of the paid leave program has been we're buying down some of the initial surge at the beginning. We're not seeing anything at this point that's out of whack with the projections. Obviously, it's something we're going to be monitoring very closely and carefully, and we'll certainly be reporting on those outcomes. But we're not seeing anything at this point that says we're misaligned with where we thought we would be at this point. But we'll keep it up.
Just so I can hear from you, you and I have talked a couple of times about anti-fraud measures that are in place. You're confident those are going to work and that this program is going to be secure from a fraud standpoint?
I would say, Tom, they are actively working now. These are features that we built in from the beginning, knowing that maintaining high program integrity is critically important, even as we balance with accessibility for users and transparency and efficiency for employers. But yes, we have identity verification, we have validation of medical necessity, of medical leave applications, or of family members in the case of bonding leave. And we have the opportunity for employers and members of the public to advise us if they become aware of anything that seems suspicious. And so through multiple layers, we are actively preventing intended misuse of the program. and are also pleased to have received positive commentary from those that have looked at those anti-fraud features on the front end, including in the anti-fraud committee hearing a while ago, in which the legislative auditor was asked to just comment. And she, of course, indicated she has not audited the program, but that based on what she sees so far, feels as though we're following best practices.
Okay, thank you both.
You bet.
There are other questions. We're happy to take those right now.
Hi, this is Aaliyah here with KTTC. Just piggyback. Thank you for taking my question. But just to piggyback off of that, the fraud topic right now. So 12,000 applicants is a lot. And I know in our last conversation on Wednesday, you all kind of broke down some of those procedures that you all are taking in place. I know you said that employees do need to have medical, some type of documents from medical providers, and you all are also working with the unemployment office just to be able to see those previous employment records, as well as Minnesota IT services. But can you kind of dive in a little bit more exactly what you all are going to be doing and what those features are going to be looking for to determine what is legit and what is not?
I'm happy to talk through that, and again, I in a public forum, we have to be a little careful about going into too many details around processes and procedures for reasons you can probably imagine. But I guess what I would say from a big picture, right? There are a variety of vectors that bad actors try to take in when they're attempting to target a program such as paid leave. And so our strategy really has to be sort of an all of the above strategy. And those components that you just listed off are exactly the components that you need to look at across the lifespan of a whole application for every application, right? Identity management and verification is absolutely critical. Is the person who they say they are? And that's why we have worked with our partners at Minute, Login MN, to ensure that that we have really strong and robust identity verification. The second part is do they have a genuine need for under the program? And that's where the certifications come in, right? And it could be a medical provider. If it's a different type of leave, for example, military leave, we need to see the active duty deployment orders as an example, right? So those are the elements where you need to make sure that, okay, the person is who they say they are. Is the need valid and certified by the entity that has been charged under the law with certifying the need there? And then it's a question of the benefits themselves. How do we ensure that you are eligible for those benefits that you've paid in, that you have the financial eligibility and all the other criteria under the law? And yes, part of that is unemployment insurance. Part of that is other integrations that we have with other state agencies to, again, validate, verify, and really meet all the various thresholds and tests that we have under the law. So it's got to be an all of the above type of approach. That's what we've really built in. And from day one, we've built paid leave to have strong program integrity and having that be a core part of the program's DNA.
And just to ask another question, so the staff that are looking over these applications, are you all prepared for the demand that is coming in? How will we know that these applications are being looked through thoroughly?
I would just say that we are incredibly focused on making sure that the applications are evaluated accurately, timely, and again, with program integrity as the foremost objective. So, I think what it really comes down to is doing the work every day and making sure that we're managing the work and doing so in a way that is, that's clean and clear for everybody. But I think that's why we've launched early. It's to help us, manage that, quick, timely adjudicate applications early so that there's a little bit less of a rush right now. And it's why we built this program with program integrity at the absolute core. The team has a ton of practice because of the beta and soft launches. They are ready to do great work for the people of Minnesota on this.
Thank you, Evan. Thank you, Aaliyah. Let's go over to Quinn next. Thanks.
Hey, can you guys hear me okay?
Yes.
We do, yep.
Thank you.
Yeah, okay. Real quick. And Evan, you touched on a lot of this in the previous question, so I'm going to kind of ask this in a more broad way. I still want to ask it. Can you talk a little bit about the general process of processing these claims? In the first couple of days, what you guys are having success with, average time to process, some of these claims, what you guys are experiencing as this, and obviously going back in the last month as you guys were working on that as well. But just sort of broadly, what that's looking like behind the scenes so far.
Absolutely, Quinn. What processing claims really looks like is all these things that we've been talking about, all the elements of an application, the integrity check, the integrity checks, the identity verification, the certifications, the employer records. That is what we are reviewing, right? And it's and essentially what the work of the team is there to do is to make sure that the components that are required under the law are there, that they're accurate, that everything is ticked and tied just as it needs to be under the law to appropriately approve a claim. And if those things are not there, either request additional information from the applicant, or if it does not meet the criteria under the law, to deny the claim. Again, we want folks to be, and part of the reason we've invested so much time and energy in making sure that our online resources are available, making sure that our contact center is available, is to help folks who are trying to do the right thing, make that as easy as possible for them, while at the same time ensuring that folks who do not are stopped at the door before payments go out. The paid leave law charges the department with making determinations, provided that all the relevant and required information is there within 14 days. During the soft launch period, we've been comfortably beating that. We've been comfortably beating that threshold. I'd say that we've been generally adjudicating claims within about a week. Now, during this initial phase, I think we're going to probably be a bit, we're going to probably be a little bit closer towards that 14-day timeline, but we are working as hard and as quickly and as accurately as we can to make sure that we're delivering the correct decisions in a timely manner with high levels of program integrity. And again, that's been the benefit of having the soft launch, of already reviewing, already having made over 6,000 decisions and determinations, and we're just going to keep the work going there.
Just a quick follow to that question. Do you have a general ballpark of how many staff members you guys have looking at those claims at the moment, if you can provide that?
I forget the exact number of adjudicatory staff that we have. Greg, I might actually just turn this one over to Program Director Greg Norfleet.
Yeah, sure. We currently have over 70 adjudicators working on these claims day to day. We also have supervisory staff that can support them. I'd also throw in that we, along with the adjudicatory staff, we also have a team of over 20 program integrity specialists that are supporting their work.
Perfect. Thank you, guys.
Thanks so much, Quinn. Which other questions can we answer for you today?
I have another question if nobody else is in queue right now.
Yeah, please bring it on.
There's been some concern among small employers about how burdensome this is going to be. What kinds of things have been done to try to help small businesses navigate this? Somebody who might have, a very small number of employees, and if two people are gone at one time, it's very burdensome. Are there things in place to help small employers?
I'm happy. Yes, absolutely, Tom. The paid leave law has a ton of supports for Minnesota small businesses, and I can walk through a couple statutory things, and I'll also walk through just what the team has done to really try to make this program successful for Minnesota small businesses. So the paid leave law has two primary supports for Minnesota small employers. The first is that they pay a reduced premium rate. Employers can pay about half the premium rate that a typical Minnesota employer pays. So assuming an employer is splitting the premium 50% with their employee, a small employer under the law, rather than paying 0.44% of wages, they pay 0.22% of wages. So there's a meaningful financial benefit under the law for small employers. Secondly, small employers who have an employee taking leave are eligible to apply for small employer assistance grants. Those grants can help defray the cost of a temporary staff member, retraining an existing employee to help out, or paying overtime to another employee to help out while somebody's on leave. And small employers are able to essentially get reimbursement from the state to meet some of those costs. These are two really meaningful programs for small employers. I would also add, aside from the components under the law, the paid leave team has been out across the state meeting with small employers and employers of all sizes across the state practically since the law was signed. Just in this past year, we've done public outreach events averaging one every workday of this year, and we've talked over the last couple of years to, I think, over 23,000 employer representatives across the state. And I'll just say those conversations have been incredibly helpful, both as we've been designing the program to make sure that it works for everybody. But I think that it's also been really helpful in terms of making sure that folks have the facts about the program. And I would say that the overwhelming majority, or the majority of employer representatives who joined us were from small employers around the state. So, part of it's about information, part of it's about some of the statutory elements that are there to support small employers. And I guess I would just close by saying having this benefit also means that small employers now have access to a benefit that they might not have been able to afford before. And that is one thing that we've heard from small employers around the state, is that this actually levels the playing field in terms of how they're able to take care of their staff.
And so, just to be clear on that 0.22% of wages, does that mean the smaller employers, are they splitting 0.44 with their employees, or are the employees still paying the
employees? So essentially, the total premium rate for a small employer is 0.66 rather than 0.88, and the employer can still charge the employee 0.44. The small employer themselves only needs to pay the 0.22. Now they can choose to share some of those savings with their employees if they desire to, but they have a reduced cost under the law.
And is there a really small, is anybody exempt from this law if you're a really, really small employer, or is everybody got to be on board in some fashion?
There's only a very limited exemption for seasonal hospitality workers, or for seasonal hospitality businesses, but that's not actually tied to size. There's nothing size related in terms of exemption under the law.
And my final question, then I'll stop burdening you with all of this. I know you said there's 70 staff who are looking at these claims. How many total employees have been brought on board to run this program? Because I know there's more to it than just reviewing the claims. How many people have been brought in all together?
Let's see. Actually pull up I want to make sure we actually get you there. I want to get you the right number on this one.
Accuracy is always good. Yeah.
Accuracy, and it's dangerous, and you got to be careful about doing math on the fly, right?
Yes, exactly.
I think great.
Yeah, so we are working on that one, Tom, for sure. Give us a minute, because accuracy critical. Anything
no
further,
problem.
Tom?
No, that was it for me. Just curious about what that number is at. And whether you're still actively bringing more people on as this ramps up.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Tom. Great questions.
Thank you.
I was going to ask a follow on Tom's question, but if you guys want time to look that number up before I do that, that's totally fine.
Oh, Quinn, go ahead. We'll keep doing that on the sidelines. Thank you.
I was going to ask, I mean, I know you guys have been talking about how there's, in the first couple of weeks, months here, there's going to be an outsized sort of impact, people filing for these claims as the program opens up for the first time. I was wondering, and I know the soft launch was kind of meant to mitigate that a little bit. Are you guys anticipating some employers might be dealing with a similar, like, disproportionate number of people accessing this program in the first couple of weeks and months?
You know, it's an interesting question, Quinn. The experience from other states in some ways has been a little bit of the reverse. So maybe I might separate it into bonding leave claims and then all other types of claims, right? If you think about bonding leave claims, there's a sort of a look back period of eligibility. So those claims, just as we were talking about a little bit before, you actually see a little bit of a baby bump, as we've called it, at the very beginning of the program, and then the number of bonding leave claims settles down more or less in line with the birth rate as you go along. It takes, on other claims though, what other states have tended to see is that it takes a little while for example, medical leave claims and the other types of claims to ramp up, because if you think about it, an issue, somebody has to have a medical issue or an issue where a family member needs care, or similar items as you go along. So those claims actually tend to ramp up a little bit over the course of the year. So, every state's a little bit different, and we'll see exactly how the trends in Minnesota, play out. But wanted to share at least those national trends from the dozen other states with programs, just as a point of comparison. This is something that we're going to be watching very carefully and closely, and certainly we'll share as we learn more along the way. Let's see.
Thank you, Evan. And then we've got another one in the chat. Tom, we're still working on the other one, but do we know how many of the roughly 12,000 applications so far are for parents of 2025 babies?
Let's see. I'm just trying to think. I don't want to give an off-the-cuff answer on that one. I think that would be one I'd love to maybe come back to, just to make sure that we're tracking that down.
And then Alicia has put in the chat the answer to the other question about number of staff in the paid leave division. So if you're not looking at the chat, that's where it is, and it's 345.
Thanks so much, Commissioner.
And just to answer Tom, to answer your question, so we're at about 300. We are at about 345 staff. The team is pretty much fully staffed. So we're in very good shape to be fulfilling all components of the paid leave program.
Right. Thank you, Evan. Any additional questions? Final call.
Just wanted to confirm, Tom, did you see that we were able to get back on the staff question?
345 staff in the paid leave division.
I'm sorry, can you repeat that one more time? I had to step away just for a second.
Oh, yeah, 345 staff on the paid leave division.
Okay, and are you still hiring, or is that about where it's kind of level off?
I was going to say, the team is fully staffed now. We have some positions open just as part of routine hiring and all of that. But the team is fully staffed and we have what we need to be successful here.
Okay, well, thanks for looking into that. I appreciate it.
Oh, of course. Thank you. Thanks for your patience.
Thanks, Tom. Thanks, Evan. Well, thank you all. I'm going to turn it back to Commissioner Verelek to close us out for today.
Hey, Commissioner, before you do that, Can I re-ask one question? Apparently, we had some difficulty getting audio the first few minutes of our recording of this, and I don't think it's being recorded elsewhere. Can I just re-ask you one question?
Yeah, go for it.
From earlier about your efforts to build in a lot of anti-fraud. You've gone to great pains, it sounds like, to make this as fraud-proof as possible. Are you confident it's going to work?
We are confident that we have built in multiple layers of effective anti-fraud measures on the front end of the program. Multiple layers, including identity verification, verification of medical records, cross-checking with wage data that we have, and also inviting members of the public and employers to share any suspicion they may have of incorrect information or of purposeful misuse.
Okay, perfect. Thank you for indulging me in that. Appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. Important topic. And then I guess just to bring us to a close, I'll echo Alicia's thanks to all of you for joining us today and for all the interest in the program, which of course is very important. We're excited about the operations and that all is going smoothly in that regard. And we're also excited about the fact that now Minnesotans are able to enjoy the benefit of this program. So having said that, we hope that we will welcome you back for our next media availability on Monday, January 5th at noon, and we wish you a great weekend. So long.